Susan Eisenhower will be presented by Jean H. Baker, Professor of History.
Susan Eisenhower, you took your very first steps in the Red Room of the White House, rode a tricycle on the curved driveway at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and sadly buried a dead parakeet in the Rose Garden, while your grandfather, Dwight D. Eisenhower, served as the 34th President of the United States. It was an exceptional childhood, and one that would greatly influence your future directions. Your grandfather is remembered for preserving peace and prosperity during the tumultuous Cold War years. You have carried on his legacy in important ways, advocating as he did for a vibrant, innovative American role in global affairs, and seeking, in his words, balance between actions of the moment and the national welfare of the future. Educated in the multilingual, multicultural learning environment of the American University of Paris, you have become a widely respected expert on foreign policy, national security, and international issues, particularly US-Russian relations. Professionally, you represent the nexus of peace, protection, and progress. Your research and counsel help leaders in government, business, and philanthropy to develop agendas and promote policies for the diplomatic resolution of conflict in a more prosperous world. As the president of the Eisenhower Group, you provide strategic counsel on political, business, and public affairs projects. You are a consultant for Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies working in the emerging markets of the former Soviet Union. Through this work, you ensure that US businesses and other organizations maintain our national legacy of achievement, invention, and opportunity. In the public arena, you have been an outspoken advocate for advancing civil, fact-based discourse. You sat on crucial commissions for the Department of Energy. You were a key appointee to the Baker-Cutler Commission on US-funded nuclear non-proliferation programs in Russia, and to the Blue Ribbon Commission on America's nuclear future. You have served on many other government task forces, including the National Academy of Sciences Standing Committee on International Security and Arms Control, the NASA Advisory Council, and the International Space Station Management and Cost Evaluation Task Force. You are a board member of the Energy Future Coalition and the Nuclear Threat Initiative, and an advisor to the US Chamber of Commerce's Institute for 21st Century Energy and the Air Force's Academy's Eisenhower Center for Space and Defense Studies. Your grandfather surely would be proud of your work as a founding director and the first president of the Eisenhower Institute. As chair of its leadership and public policy programs, you engage leaders to address critical issues in public policy and mentor the next generation to fulfill the promise of the nation. Susan Eisenhower, you take a thoughtful but head-on approach to overcoming the complex, nuanced, and interconnected challenges we face as a country. Your measured and meticulous contributions stand in stark contrast to the stubbornness and impulsive action that have often marked international relations in the modern era. You carry your family's name with dignity and poise, and you are an exemplar of scholarship and diplomacy. We proudly present to you today the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Mr. President, it is with great admiration and respect that I present Susan Eisenhower for the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By the authority of the state of Maryland, vested in the trustees of Goucher College, and by them delegated to me, I confer on Susan Eisenhower the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. We're proud now to hear from Susan Eisenhower.